Fear. It's a feeling we all know. It can make our hearts race and palms sweat. It can make us want to hide or run away. But what if I told you that fear isn't the enemy? What if it's how we choose to handle fear that truly matters? Fear is a natural human emotion. It's part of what makes us alive. It's a signal, a warning system that alerts us to potential danger. But sometimes, fear can hold us back. It can keep us from pursuing our dreams, taking risks, and living our lives to the fullest. The key is to learn how to dance with fear, to acknowledge its presence without letting it control us. We need to understand its purpose and find ways to work with it, not against it. Instead of letting fear be a barrier, we can choose to see it as a call to action, an opportunity for growth, and a chance to live a more courageous and fulfilling life. Fear can be paralyzing. It can whisper doubts in our ears and magnify insecurities. It can keep us stuck in our comfort zones, afraid to take a single step outside of the familiar. We might avoid new opportunities, relationships, or challenges because the fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown feels too overwhelming. The fear of judgment from others can be particularly crippling, leading us to silence our authentic selves and conform to societal expectations. This fear-driven avoidance might bring temporary relief, but it ultimately prevents us from experiencing the richness and fullness of life. It keeps us small and stagnant when we are capable of so much more. Recognizing the grip fear has on us is the first step towards breaking free. It's about acknowledging that fear is present, understanding its impact on our thoughts and behaviors, and choosing to move forward despite it. Fear is a primal instinct. It's hardwired into our brains and bodies, designed to protect us from harm. When we encounter a perceived threat, our amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, sends out an alarm signal. This triggers a cascade of physiological responses. Our heart rate and breathing accelerate, muscles tense up, and stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol flood our system. This is our body's fight or flight response, preparing us to either confront the danger or flee to safety. While this response served us well in the face of physical threats in our evolutionary past, our modern lives are filled with a different kind of danger: psychological and emotional threats. These threats, like public speaking, job interviews, or social situations, trigger the same physiological response, even though they don't pose a physical danger. Understanding that fear is a natural biological response can help us approach it with less judgment and more compassion. It reminds us that feeling fear doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. What if we could transform fear, that knot in our stomachs, into something more empowering? What if instead of dreading it, we could learn to harness its energy and turn it into excitement? This shift begins with a simple but profound change in perspective. Instead of viewing fear as a stop sign, we can choose to see it as a compass, pointing us towards what truly matters to us. When we feel fear creeping in, we can ask ourselves, what is this fear trying to tell me? What am I passionate about that lies beyond this fear? Often, the things we fear the most are the very things that hold the greatest potential for our growth and fulfillment. By reframing fear as excitement, as an indicator of something meaningful, we can begin to shift our relationship with it. We can learn to see it not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity for growth, learning, and expansion. Section 5. Taming the Fear Within. Practical Strategies. Taming fear requires action. It's about taking small, consistent steps outside of our comfort zones and building our courage muscle, one experience at a time. Here are a few practical strategies to help you navigate fear and move forward with confidence. Break it down. Large, daunting goals can amplify fear. Break down your fear-inducing goal into smaller, more manageable steps. This makes the journey feel less overwhelming and allows you to celebrate small victories along the way. Visualize success. Our minds are powerful. Spend time visualizing yourself successfully navigating the situation you fear. Imagine the feeling of accomplishment and let that positive image fuel your courage. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself throughout the process. Acknowledge that fear is a normal human emotion, and it's okay to feel afraid. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a close friend facing a similar challenge. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Each time you face your fear, you build resilience and expand your capacity for bravery. Section 6. The gift of failure. One of our deepest fears is the fear of failure. We're conditioned to see failure as a negative outcome, a reflection of our inadequacy. But what if we could reframe failure? What if, instead of fearing it, we could embrace it as an essential part of growth and learning? Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. Every successful person has encountered countless setbacks, mistakes, and failures along their journey. What sets them apart is their ability to learn from these experiences, adapt, and keep moving forward. When we allow ourselves to fail, to make mistakes, we open ourselves up to invaluable lessons and insights. We learn what works, what doesn't, and how to do better next time. Failure, when viewed through this lens, becomes not something to be feared, but a powerful catalyst for growth and innovation. Section 7. Courage over comfort. Choosing courage over comfort is a daily practice. It's about making the conscious decision to step outside of the familiar, to embrace vulnerability, and to show up authentically in the world, even when it feels scary. It means speaking our truth, even when our voice shakes. It's about setting boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about pursuing our dreams, even when we're afraid of failing. Living a courageous life doesn't mean we'll never feel fear. It means we'll feel the fear and do it anyway. It means choosing to be guided by our values, our passions, and our dreams, even in the face of uncertainty and discomfort. Section 8. Your journey to bravery. Your journey to bravery is uniquely yours. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, no magic formula for conquering fear overnight. It's a process of self-discovery, experimentation, and continuous learning. Start by identifying the fears that are holding you back. What dreams have you put on hold because of fear? What opportunities have you missed because you were too afraid to try? Once you've identified your fears, choose one small step you can take today to move towards courage. Remember, even the smallest act of bravery can create a ripple effect, inspiring you to take bigger and bolder steps in the future. Section 9. Embrace the arena. Life is messy and unpredictable. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments when fear threatens to consume us. But it's in these moments that we have a choice: to retreat into the shadows or to step into the arena, fully ourselves, and embrace the fullness of life's experiences. Choosing to live a courageous life means accepting that vulnerability and discomfort are not signs of weakness, but hallmarks of courage. It means being willing to show up, imperfections and all, and to engage fully in the world around us. It's about living wholeheartedly, embracing both the joys and the sorrows, the triumphs and the setbacks, as integral parts of the human experience. Section 10. A life less ordinary. Imagine a life where fear no longer holds you captive. A life where you feel empowered to pursue your dreams, to embrace vulnerability, and to live each day with intention and courage. This is the life that awaits you when you learn to dance with fear and turn it into your greatest ally. It won't always be easy. There will be moments when you stumble, when fear threatens to pull you back into the shadows. But remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. So I invite you to step into the arena of your life with courage and authenticity. Embrace the unknown, face your fears, and live a life that is both meaningful and extraordinary. The world needs your courage, your voice, and your unique gifts. Don't let fear silence them.